JapanPOPtv. Hello, I'm Karen Hiizuru, the host of JapanPOPtv. My favorite things are hamburgers and cola. I'm also a fan of baseball, which is called yaku in Japan. As for dislikes, I can't stand broccoli caterpillars and dictators. Dictators are truly detestable. The existence of dictators is in fact humanity's greatest enemy. When you look at history or the present, they never seem to do any good. I've noticed that about them too. They seem surprisingly devoid of individuality. It's as if they all act like the same person, following the same patterns. They lack self-restraint much like toddlers, and can tolerate anything that doesn't please them. Eventually they are surrounded by yes men, making them even more self-centered. The emperor's new clothes is indeed a well-crafted allegory. Have you ever thought about why this happens? It could be because they require the level of power that's simply too immense for any one person to handle. Overwhelming power has the potential to drive a person mad. How about you? Do you have the confidence to use great power responsibly? Don't you ever want to wield power recklessly? No, it's not just about individuals. I wonder if humanity as a whole is using the immense power it possesses responsibly. The theme we are addressing this time is precisely that. Yes, for the inaugural episode, we'll be delving into the cyberpunk masterpiece Akira. We'll thoroughly dissect it in multiple parts because it encompasses the movie, the manga, and the creator Katshiro Ohtomo, and there's just too much to cover in a single video. By the time you've finished watching, you'll undoubtedly have become a distinguished Akira expert. This time, we'll be introducing the movie. Warning, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, watch it now. If you've already seen it, watch it again. That way, you'll be able to enjoy this JapanPOPtv even more. Let's introduce the main characters. Shoutaro Kaneda. Formerly, he's the protagonist, yes. But as I'll explain later in Akira, there isn't really a single main character. On the surface, he takes the lead and drives the story forward, but he plays the role of a facilitator. He's action-oriented and courageous. In this chicken race, he even defeats the leader of the rival gang. Kaneda remains calm, not breaking a sweat. Well, maybe it's not so much that he's courageous, but perhaps he's just fearless. In other words, he's a bit of a nutcase. After all, he ventures into military facilities to rescue Tetsuo and faces off against the monstrous Tetsuo by himself. Remarkably, he has no special powers of his own. In the beginning of the movie, we see that he has a girlfriend, but he pushes her away with the words, "Don't cling to me." In a typical scenario, viewers might start to dislike a character who behaves this way. At the very least, he's not a character trying to pander to the audience. Tetsuo Shima. He is indeed the true protagonist. What happens when a human gains immense power? That's the consistent theme of Akira, and he embodies it. The story begins when he gains power. He's a mass of insecurities and egotism, with a twisted personality. Even here, when he shouts, "I want to kill at Kendo," who is trying to stop him, it's clear how dangerous he can be. People like him should never be given such power. What he truly wanted what he wanted to become was Kaneda. Kaneda, popular and possessing leadership qualities, was his idol. However, no matter how hard Tetsuo struggled, he could never become like Kaneda. This dilemma turns into hatred. With his newfound immense power, he begins to use it for his own desires. Kano Shikishima. To me, this man appears to be the most sensible one. He is striving to protect Tokyo from the catastrophe caused by Akira's power. Tokyo has been devastated by Akira's power, and it has become the trigger for the Third World War. He is a person with a strong determination that such a situation must never happen again. What is the intention of the Japanese government in preserving the dangerous Akira to this extent? There is hope that eventually this power can be controlled. However, the colonel says we military personnel consider risks. Maybe he actually wants to dispose of Akira. It seems he doesn't have the authority for that. Hence, the colonel continues his research to control and neutralize Akira. Doctor, a seemingly unassuming character, yet one of the causes that brought about distraction. After all, it should have been the scientist who initially awakened Akira's power, right? Yet, he is repeating the exact same mistake. Driven by innocent scientific curiosity, he awakens Tetsuo and ultimately brings about the final catastrophe. Even in his final moments, he is enthralled by Akira's power and revels in it. Should we call him a mad scientist? It's the scientists who keep bestowing all sorts of power upon humanity, energy, technology, weapons, and more. Kai! She's the girl whom Kaneda falls head over heels for and relentlessly pursues. She's a terrorist aligned with the anti-establishment faction, and in the story, she even commits murder. Isn't she an incredibly dangerous woman? Yet, even when Kaneda witnesses a murder scene, he continues to approach her as if it's no big deal. It's safe to say he is fearless or perhaps has a loose screw in his head, don't you think? Her ideology and specific goals are never fully revealed. She operates as part of Yu's team alongside their superior, Yu. Nizu, a shady politician. He's also the mastermind behind the terrorist organization to which Kei belongs. Although his exact motives aren't revealed in the story, he comes across as a power-hungry and insignificant figure. He manipulates the terrorist group and engages in anti-establishment activities, no doubt of a desire for revolution but seemingly to destabilize the government and position himself as a political leader. Therefore, he doesn't appear to have any firm ideals. In the end, he discards Ryu and flees with bundles of worthless paper money and securities. By the way, in Japan they call mice Nizumi. That's where the name Nizu comes from. His small stature and rodent-like teeth signify that he is an insignificant individual, sneaking around like a mouse. Ryu! He is superior. He's also a terrorist against the regime. The story unfolds when his associates kidnap Takoshi. It's unclear what beliefs guide his actions, but he's merely being used by Nizu. In the end, he's betrayed, and he dies in a state of bewildered shock, a truly pitiable man. Number 25 Kyoko, number 26 Takoshi, number 27 Masaru. Through research and experimentation, they acquired psychic abilities. As a trade-off, their growth was stunted, and they appear to be aging children, but in reality they should be around 40 years old. Those who attained a certain level of power are referred to by numbers and are known as numbers. Since there are no other children in the military lab, it can be speculated that either the other children couldn't acquire psychic abilities, perished in experiments, or were caught in Akira's explosion, resulting in unfortunate outcomes. Number 28, Akira. Akira is a young boy who possesses extraordinary powers among the subjects. It's easy to explain why this happened in the visual differences, variances among the subjects. Just like how humans all look different and have significant disparities in physical and intellectual abilities, he was simply special, gifted. In the past, his powers went out of control, leading to the destruction of Tokyo. Now that I've introduced the main characters, I'll stop here for this time. In the next installment, we'll finally delve into the story of the movie. Then, let's meet again on JapanPOPtv. Goodbye!